Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for the chance given to me. Now, I'm Ririn Dwi Ariyanti from Senior High School 1 Ngronggot. Would like to tell you the story and the title, The Legend of Ilaurang. This story is from South Sulawesi. Have you heard this story before? Okay, let me tell you the story of Ilaurang. Please enjoy! Once upon a time in South Sulawesi, there was a couple who had no child for a long time. Every night, they always prayed to the God to give them a child. One night, the couple prayed to God. "Oh God, grant us a child, even if it's just a shrimp." Sometime later, his wife became pregnant and gave birth. What a surprise! The wife gave birth a boy with a shape and skin like a shrimp. It can live on land or in water. Therefore, he was given the name Ilaurang. Realizing this, the couple took care of Ilaurang and put him in a jar filled with water. Several years later, Ilaurang grew big. He was removed from the jar and no longer lived in water. He lived like other humans. The next day, he told his feeling to his parents. "Dad, Mom, I want to marry and have a children," said Ilaurang. "Who do you want to marry?" asked his mother. "I want to marry to the king's daughters, Mom," answered Ilaurang. "Huh? With the king's daughter? That's impossible," said his father in surprise. "There are 7 daughters of the king and all of them are beautiful. Who knows, maybe one of them wants to marry me," said Ilaurang. After that, Ilaurang's parents came to the palace and told about Ilaurang's proposal. "Forgive me, Your Majesty. The purpose of our coming is to convey our son's proposal to the one of Your Majesty's daughter," said Ilaurang's father. The king smiled and while stroking his wife's beard. "Okay, then I will ask my 7 daughters about this. Maybe one of them will accept your son's proposal," said the king. "My beautiful daughters, come here." "Yes, father." Then the king asked his daughter one by one, from the eldest to the youngest. 6 of his daughters said no. However, when the question was addressed to the youngest, she answered, "Forgive me, father. If father is willing, I'm willing to marry Ilaurang." "Okay, my daughter, your father will bless you. We will hold your wedding party in 3 days," said the king. Ilaurang's parents felt so happy listening to this news. After went home, they told the news Ilaurang. Ilaurang felt so happy, and the happiness was like a magic that has changed Ilaurang. He lost his shrimp cocoon shell and turned into a handsome man. "Wow, it turned you are handsome and dashing, my son," said his mother. The next day, Ilaurang cut his long hair and everyone was stunned when they found out that the handsome man is Ilaurang. At the wedding party, all the people were so surprised to see Ilaurang's good look. The 6 princes felt so jealous. The wedding brought Ilaurang and the youngest princess to the happiness. Because of jealous, the 6 sisters wanted to harm the youngest princess and competed to have Ilaurang. Ilaurang felt suspicious and warned to his wife that she had to be careful to the 6 sisters. Ilaurang gave her an egg and the betel nuts. One day, Ilaurang had to leave his wife because of good assignment to go great in another area. After Ilaurang left, her 6 sisters asked the youngest princess to play on the swing by the sea. When it was the youngest princess to be swung, the 6 sisters had swung it very hard, so the youngest princess was thrown into the sea and drowned. After that accident, the sixth sister came back to the palace and told the king that the youngest princess has died. She was eaten by fish while bathing by the sea. Meanwhile, thanks to the god's help, the youngest princess was still alive. She still remembered the gift that her husband gave her. The youngest princess planted the betel nuts on the seabed while she broke the egg. The egg fragments became large and she entered into the shelter. Several months later, the betel nuts she planted grew into a big and tall tree, so that it exceeded sea level. After a few weeks, the youngest princess transformed into a chicken and then perched on the area tree. Every time when a bird passed by, the chicken always crowed and asked about her husband's whereabouts. One day, from afar a boat was seen passing by where the chicken was perched. When the ship was near, the chicken crowed loudly and asked where her husband was. "Kokorayok, where is my husband, Ilaurang?" hearing the chickens. Suddenly, a handsome man came out of the ship and stood on the bridge. "I'm Ilaurang," said the handsome man. The ship approached a chicken that was perched on area near tree. As the ship got closer, the chicken immediately flew to the ship crying, "Dear, it's me, the youngest princess, your wife," sighed the chicken. Ilaurang immediately stroked the chicken while his mouth was chanting a spell. A few moments later, by the power of God, the chicken turned back into the youngest princess. Then the youngest princess told to Ilaurang about what had happened. "Never mind, dear. Let's go back to the palace," said Ilaurang. "But my husband, how about my six older sister? I'm afraid that they will hurt me again." "Dear, you not to worry. I have a plan," answered Ilaurang to calm his wife. "How do you do it, my husband?" asked the youngest princess seriously. "Dear, you hid in the coffin, then I give you a big needle. If someone is crying in the coffin, then to stab her in the shoulder," explained Ilaurang. "Okay, dear," answered the youngest princess. After that, the coffin was brought to the palace. In the palace, Ilaurang made a competition. The competition is when one of the six older sisters can live it. She will be chosen to be his wife. Hearing Ilaurang's statement, they competed to live in the coffin. The first turn fell on the eldest daughter. With all his strength, she lifted to the chest under his shoulders. However, after only walking a few steps, she threw the coffin because he could not bear the pain caused by the needle prick in his shoulder. The eldest princess fell to become Ilaurang's wife. Likewise, the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth daughters failed to carry the chest all the way to the palace. "Because no one success when you fail to become my wife," said Ilaurang. After that, Ilaurang then ordered several guards to tie the coffin with ropes, then carry it into the palace. Arriving at the palace, Ilaurang then explained what was actually inside the chest. "Guard, open the chest!" Ilaurang exclaimed to one of the guards. "Yes, sir," answered the guard. After the coffin was opened, what a surprise the king's daughters were, because it turned out that the contents of the coffin were the youngest princess, who they thought had died, because they could not bear the shame of their younger sister and Ilaurang. The six older siblings ran away. But they asked forgiveness, and Ilaurang made them as a servant in the palace. Finally, the youngest princess and Ilaurang lived happily ever after. Okay, my friends, that's all about my story. From the story, we can learn that we should not feel jealous of what other people have. Thank you very much. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.